Hey there folks, and welcome to the next 155 mile per hour Cup Tryouts. In this tryouts I am doing the Suzuki Cappuccino 1991 if it had the RX-7 motor. So here's the parts and things you can do to the Suzuki Cappuccino with the RX-7 motor. Which RX-7 motor is it? It's the Spirit R, just to say. So there's no, I don't think there's any engine swaps yet for the E-Fini RX-7, but that's technically fine anyways because I think the Spirit R is basically just better overall, maybe. I mean, I could be wrong, who knows, on that matter. But yeah, in terms of parts you can do, it's not a whole lot in the engine department, which is kind of shocking, but then again, reminder, it's a rotor motor. Which, yeah, motors are usually pretty small, which, for this car's case, perfect. Because otherwise, this car wouldn't really show up at all in the tryouts about it. So, you can thank the heavens it has the RX-7 swap at the end of the day. I do hope there's like more swaps in the future, like maybe the Suzuki Swift or something, maybe another small kind of motor, or the Sierra. The Sierra's motor would be very interesting in this too. But otherwise, this makes this into one heck of a pocket rocket at the end of the day. Yeah, here you go for the wide body, which basically just enlarges the fenders, and then the engine swap for those that want the engine swap. Because yeah, I will say the horsepower is definitely lower, as it's only 154. Matter of fact, it barely almost made this tryouts at the end though. Yeah, here's the rims overall, which you can widen the offset. I didn't show it. I don't know why I did, but either way. You can, if you put custom rims, which I basically did, you can slap a 13 inches instead, and also widen it entirely. And such. Yeah, that's basically it, what you can basically do for the rims overall. Basically very customizable at the end of the day. Very nice little car. So, I don't know why I sat here for a minute. Always gotta wonder why this sat there for a minute. Oh well. Anyways, to the front fenders, you can basically have a lip to it. You can also add a bigger side to it, side skirt. Have a rear skirt. This thing goes. And you can have either like a Supra style wing that feels like Super wing, or you can have the custom, which is basically what I did for this case. Cause yeah, for cup races, I might as well add a really nice spoiler to it. Because while I do like the Super Sport, that feels like more of a production car kind of spoiler than a race spoiler. At the end of the day, unless it was like a large box kind of spoiler, then I would. But otherwise, it wasn't the case. This thing goes. But yeah, you can have hood latches, you can have a tow latch too, or exposed tow latch. You can have roll cages, which yeah, you might as well go Type C because it's a two-seater. I'll say two-seaters, you might as well go full roll cage. And headlights with the whitish blues. Not the blue blues, with the whitish blues. And then here's the license plate, how it looks like for it, depending on what type it is. Yeah, sometimes they'll put it on the side, sometimes they'll put it right smack down in the middle. Here comes that. Then brake caliber colors, which I went with the whites. And for the tuning, this is where it's going to get really interesting, because I will say, when it came to tuning this car was a very weird car when it came to it. But overall, though, I had to increase the roll bar to like 7. I had to increase the body height and natural frequency to a high amount, or mid-high amount, I would say. And then, like, the negative... is that negative? No, that's not negative camber. It's the... something else entirely. I had to put that to 55 to lower the top speed enough for it to even be part of this. Because, yeah, as you can see here, it is detuned to oblivion. As in, it is at the lowest it could possibly technically kind of get at the end of the day. Because yeah, I had to fluctuate the spoilers and stuff. If anything I added was a sports air filter at best. Which I debated to add that or not at the end of the day. Any other thing would be Oh man, I don't think I showed the downforce. Whoops. But anyways, here's the final that you can do that I did to it. In case anyone wants it, I will note it's a little bit different because I decided to change some colors and add a bit more vinyl to it. But overall, the Cappuccino 1991 is a very fantastic car, especially with the RX-7 motor. Because my lord, this thing's crazy quick and such. But in terms of cup racing, because yeah, I usually don't want to really talk about the production side because that's its own thing. But when it comes to cup racing, there isn't technically much to this besides the K-Cup racing it's known for in Japan, and there was endurance, like the 4GP, like 10-hour endurance. It's like some 10-hour endurance in Suzuka or something like that. And then, in terms of other variants, when it comes to Cappuccino, there is a race variant, but it's a fictional variant that was in Gran Turismo 5 that I forgot about. That there was a dedicated race car for this, a race car variant of this, which I will say that race car variant very good. It's just the problem is we didn't ever got that, or we didn't ever got that back, so to say, throughout all the. Because yeah, I will say Gran Turismo has a lot of race variants, and this was one of them. Another one is the Camaro race car and other such, for that matter. But yeah, there is a race car variant when it comes to the Suzuki Cappuccino. We just did not end up getting it, which is odd. Not sure why, but if you want to know, it kind of changes the back in case you don't like those backlights, for one example. And like enlarges fenders like this one is, exactly is. No. Yeah, overall, the Suzuki Cappuccino is a very fun little car, especially with the RX-7 motor. This motor, if you want to know something, which I'll probably just go ahead and just mention this motor is absolutely crazy what it does to this little car at the end of it. It turns this car into a little monster at the end of it. So much of a monster, in fact, that this is one of those glitch PP cars. And I can kind of see why, because I can see there, it's kind of gets very loose around the road and stuff. That's because this car has a very tough handling around the roads and stuff. I don't know why. It's very, very weird in that most part. But just to say though, this RX-7 motor, if you punch it all the way to 600 horsepower, this car will hit like 275 miles per hour. I guaranteed it. This car is crazy on the speed numbers. But I had to for this case, for cup racing, to make it as low bearing as possible, which was very difficult, but I achieved it at the end of the day. It hits 155 and it hits 150 on the straight down and such. So it's a perfect little pocket racer machine, and for cup racing that's technically good because, like I said, the Suzuki Cappuccino, that's the best way to say it. The regular one wasn't really able to at all, even though, here's the thing, the regular one had more horsepower than this. It could go up to 160 with the regular motor, but the problem was, either it was the torque or the acceleration itself was not good enough to push it to the higher ground at the end of the day. So I'm kind of hoping in the future that if there's another engine swap in the future, I would recommend getting the pedestrian Sierra, the Jimny Sierra's motor, and see if that works for this car's case. Because while that motor is not the greatest on the fuel consumption for the Jimny Sierra, I kind of wonder if that motor is going to be really good for this car's case. Because if you don't know, the Jimny Sierra has a pedestrian model, and that pedestrian model is a very nice, fun little motor that I do hope to be added for the Suzuki Cappuccino in the future. If there's a motor I would ask for that, it'll be that. Yeah, in terms of times here, as you see here, we're hitting like a minute 10.224. It has the ability to hit a minute 9, but we will see if it can hit that, because I will say that was a god tier lap when I did that. So just a heads up to that. Yeah, so we'll go around the roundabout and stuff of Eiger Norwin. But yeah, I have a habit to call it Niger Norwin. I apologize in any advance of that, because it's just a habit. I don't know why I call it Niger at the end of the day. But it's supposed to be Eiger. I don't want to say fur of the N word, you know, but you know. It's just a weird habit. I don't know why. I don't know why I say that. But yeah, a minute 10. It was so close for a minute 9, but sadly it was just off the hook just a tad. It is what it is sometimes. It is what it is. So on to Laguna Seca. But yeah, Laguna Seca hits like a minute 36 as you see there. Which kind of tells you that this ain't really like the strongest kind of car out of the bunch. And it makes sense because, reminder that I had to take the air filter, the turbo parts, which are very dedicated parts because without that it's going to be a lot less accelerant than it usually is. So here is the stats in this case. Starting with the speed stat, which I would say like 7 tenths for that ranking, hitting just 137 miles per hour, while the acceleration is like 111 on the Eiger Nordland climb, as you saw there. Turning, I would say 8 though. I think it's really good in the turn department, but there's like one issue that kind of stops it from being such a turn-happy car. And you'll notice it every now and then when I drive this little car around dips and stuff. On the tire factor, it's really good for being, well, as the saying goes, it's a K car, so as a special thing about K cars is that they're going to be very light on the tire wear, which is fantastic. That basically allows the car to survive for a good while during race and stuff, as long as the fuel consumption is not as crazy. Which the fuel consumption, which as you see there, look at those hops, good God, is, the fuel consumption is also, I would say, 8 out of 10 too. It hits about 2/3 left when it comes to the 8 laps of Eiger Nordland on the 9 times fuel, 12 times tire burn at the end of the day. So overall, pretty good for the most part, except for the one big issue, which is, as you saw there, it can't really take dip of turns very well, so it has that oversteer hopping problem. Even though I try to elevate the car as much as I can, it still kind of just does it at the end of the day. I think it's just because of its sheer size at the end of the day and such, so just be careful around certain corners and stuff when it comes to driving this car, or otherwise you will loose dive it like no tomorrow. The other thing, so overall, in terms of ranking, I kind of consider this a B at the end of the day. It's kind of like the best of both worlds, kind of basic kind of car at the end of the day. With sprint kind of just being B, and endurance just kind of being B at the such. So let's say, so yeah, just overall, just kind of a basic little run-of-the-mill little car that you could drive at the end of the day. Considering, well, this time it ain't gonna be cheating. Cause yeah, I will say, if this was ever in a PP's tryouts though, it'll be a different story. On America's, like I said, the PP for this car has been broken, so you could turn around and full tune this and take it to the 600 PP, and you got basically the fastest car in the game, basically in terms of grinding of such. Because yeah, like I said, the tire wear is not bad, so it was basically we'll just maul through that race in general. So if you want an easy $800,000, just get this with the RX-7 motor and just modify it the heck and back. But yeah, as a legit Cup tryout car, it's not bad overall. It's kind of the basics of both worlds at the end of the day. So now on to the best lap here, which yeah, time to talk about some times and stuff, shall we? As this thing goes. Because yeah, hitting a minute 34.332, which in terms of that time, that's not really the greatest because it has to beat the Viper, which the Viper is a minute 33.565, so can it do it at the end of the day? Because yeah, as the saying goes, I would love to add other engine parts to this car, but it wasn't able to, like I said. The horsepower was just, or not the horsepower, but the fact of how much momentum it gave off was so high, I don't know. So high, and surprisingly detouring it wasn't good enough. So it kind of makes me wonder, would the Infiniti RX-7 would be better for this car at the end of it, because that is less horsepower. Because mind you, the not Infiniti, it's Infiniti RX-7. Infiniti RX-7 has about 232-ish horsepower, while the Spirit R has like 200. Oh wait, no. I think the Infiniti is 260, while the RX-7 Spirit R is like 276 or something like that. So yeah, it was around the numbers where they decided to break the gentleman's agreement, so. I don't know if it's actually 276 or not, on that matter. But here we go to the last bit of the straightaway here. Can I hit a better time? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm at 34.172. That's not bad, but like I said, that's not really the craziest. So now onto the speed section of the Tokyo Expressway and such. As we get there to the straightaway. And like a 130 there. 133 before breaking in. Yep, so going around my favorite one-gun track at the end of the day, because yeah, like I said, this track always gives me that one-gun vibes, so and stuff. Cause yeah, and of course, I saw someone who was doing ranking of Tokyo Expressway, which of course he's a freaking Grand Theft Auto 4 peasant at the end of the day. Talks about this track, he says he talks about, which I know which one he's talking about. He's talking about the piece of crap barrier one. The thing is, there's so many better variants when it comes to Tokyo Expressway, but the problem is everyone always brings that fucking crappy barrier one into means of talking about this track at the end though. Which, I'll just say this, you need to try south clockwise. Because I'm sorry, I'm subbing your ass. You just say, I was sub to him for a good while, until I heard that. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that as an answer. You need to try south clockwise. I'm sorry to tell you. Try this at nighttime. Your vision of Tokyo Expressway will change. I damn well mean it. Because just to say, I used to hate Tokyo Expressway until I tried this track at nighttime. Because I will say the Docks track and this one are like the best tracks to come out of Tokyo Expressway. This is like a mini stage Route 11 without the long pacing, which I know a lot of people bitched about, but yet here we are bitching about this one. It's like, come on. Or no, I wouldn't say bitch, it's more like you just slammed it at the end of the day, just went out of his way. It's like, FUT, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. Because yeah, there's one thing I got smack talk about. I did saw, let's just say I saw a certain someone's ranking system, and a lot of people look up to this guy in terms of Gran Turismo content stuff. It's like maybe you really shouldn't look up to this guy at the end of the day when he's pulling crap like that. It's like, I'm sorry, he drives dirty at the end of the day. Which that was the other reason why I stopped watching too, because he drives freaking dirty throughout his challenges, so to say. But yeah, no, sorry. Am I secretly dissing? Yes. I may be secretly dissing, but oh well. I really don't care. At the end of it, I just enjoy this track as it is. It's a fun little track that you can basically just have a blast going through the straightaways here. Just hightail it throughout the straightaway here. Go on the roundabout on the up scenes, and then the awesome chicane, and then shoot back over. It's like, do you not see the wonders of that? It still keeps you in speed at the end of the day. Even the coolest part, that in-turn is what I love too, because usually a lot of people have problems with the stop turns and stuff. This one is that exception to where it has a cool little turn that you can turn around and drift, so to say, if you really wanted to. And not only that, the pit stop's over there too. Yeah, this is one of those unique tracks where the pit stop is not at the start, which I like that. That twists things. That adds a bit of a flavor, so to say, you know? It's just the one irritation I have about when it came to that guy slamming this track at the end of it. And who I'm referring to at the end of the day, you know what, fuck, I'll say it, it's Dustin Eden. I'm sorry, just no, like after that I lost each little grain of salt I have with him at the end of the day. I'll just say it. Because you know what, I kind of understand what Alex meant by secret dissing. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be just straight up criticizing as he is. And yeah, all I have to say about that opinion is that it sucks. I'm sorry, man. That opinion sucks. I ain't gonna take you seriously after that. Because I know you gave it a B at the end of the day. I think it's more of an A. I'm sorry. When you tried this track is really good. it's so freaking good because they're like you see the night lights everywhere. It's like it's just amazing to look at. Or nighttime. I don't see the negativity at the end of it. Like maybe I'm missing something, but this is the closest you can get for a Gran Turismo of the past kind of tracks because there is no momentum drops, like I said. And not only that, it's a one gun style track. Like, holy shit! Like this is the one gun style track that we have, besides the other one, which is the west and east clockwise variants. Those are pretty good too, but I consider those more of a highway battle. So this is more tactical and stuff, and fun too. So, I mean, just look at that. At the end of this is a very good track, and I just did not see the opinion at the end of it. And I will just, you know, mark up that saying to that. It's just, I cannot believe it's a shit opinion like that. But yeah, here we go with the best time, which is 149.161. So here's the circuits in Kentucky we do, which is Sunday Cup. Which, yeah, just gonna blow through this over immediately. Now you're trying. Got the Sunday Cup Classic, which is, yeah, same case. If anything, probably worse, because these cars are in the Classic are technically slower. In the Japanese FR Challenge, you can do this, which, that's good. So to say. I don't know if it has a turbo, but oh wait, yeah, it has a turbo. Okay, so yeah, you can do the turbo thing too. You can do the turbo challenge. You can do the Japanese Club Cup 550. Race of turbo sports cars. What I meant to say. So you can do that for sure. And then I'm debating if to say do World Tour in 600 or not because of its low PP, but that could be because of the glitch. So I'll just say this. It's debatable if you can or don't on the World Touring Car 600. I should have tried it, but I didn't have the time to. So I'll just say this: that's probably possible. That's probably very much possible. So, heck, I even checked to see if it's capable of doing lightweight K-Cup. No, sadly no. Way too high. This thing goes, as you see there. But yeah, in terms of tournaments though, I can do the high speed ring track day, the Tokyo Parade. Then lastly, yeah, Asia Oceania Championship. So now onto the race here, as we got the couple of contenders from the Mazda Roadster touring car, the Hyundai Genesis Coupe, the into Capes, yeah. Into Capes, yeah. I don't know what's the best way to say competition is, or something like that. I've been saying that right. I don't know, I'm just gonna call it M2 at the end of the day, even though it's not M2, or it is. I don't know, it's the weird part when it comes to that one. You got the Genesis G70 3.3 Turbo, you got the Jaguar F-Type R, you got the Civic Type R, I think that's the new, yeah, that's the new FL5, okay, wow. FL5, you'll see why I say wow later on here. Jaguar F-Type R, which, oh boy. Speaking of fuel burning. Because yeah, I'm just gonna say this, I'll be surprised if some of these cars make the one lap at the end of the day. And you got the Lamborghini Maria P400 Bertone, that's probably the rival for sure, because I do recall that car being very good on some occasions. So say. You got the GR Super RZ, the 2020 version. I don't know what is the difference between, because I think there was a 2021 to the 2020. I know engine swaps are different. I just don't know what else is different besides engine tune-ups or whatever it's provided to it. Oh, speaking of gas hogs, hi Lamborghini Urus. Oh god. Get me out of here. Which of course I had to sit by the butt of this car at the end of the day because it's so freaking huge. As the thing goes. And then you got the Lexus LFA Classic, but no doubt that's gonna be fuel hungry too because it's a V10. V10s are usually pretty hungry, I'm sorry to say. Cobra 427, that's gonna be a bit hungry too, but it is a light It is a white roadster, so it might survive the lap, but we'll see on that matter. You get the Maserati Gran Turismo S, you got the Porsche 911 GT3, and then you got what I thought was the rival, which was the Nissan R34 GTR Z-Tune, but I kind of take that back on that one. You'll see. You'll very much see on that one. Because yeah, as the saying goes, I keep it at 9 times burn, because I do want to see if there's some cars I make it at the end of the day, and it doesn't seem to be the case sometimes, as the thing goes. Sometimes I wonder if I should slap the race softs just to see if I get any more rougher opponents. But I'm also kind of concerned about that, because then I'll probably get opponents that are gas hogs at the end of the day. So it's kind of just a bit of a debate, like what kind of opponents to deal with at the end of the day. Should I deal with technically weaker ones, so that way they can manage the fuel, or should I deal with technically stronger ones that they're fast, but they're gonna burn? But then again, I'm also, as the saying goes, I'm also at Nürburgring, I think it's just, yeah, it's called Endurance, the Endurance layout, yeah. Because it's not Nordschleifer, it's the Endurance layout, which Endurance layout is like the 24-hour, except it's the short variant of the GP track. Basically, it's basically like a bit of road, so you can just get on the way there. Also, a better pit stop at the end of it, using the 24-hour pit stop instead of the Nordschleifer one. Nordschleifer one, I believe, is at pay toll, if I recall. When it comes to the pit stop, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll end up doing the Nordschleifer run. See where the pit stop is for that, because I don't. Oh wait, maybe the pit stop is there at the bit. I don't know, I can't really recall very much, but yeah, we got the Civic Type R, which is kind of cool because you got the NSX versus the Civic. So, which one's better? After all these years, you know. So, that's 20-year difference, isn't it? Yeah, 2002 to 2022. All right, it was better. You got the Roadster Touring Car, which is a classic. And probably like the only race-like car in this that you get sometimes. I mean, there is other race-like cars, but well, there's also track machines too. There's also the back mono and the KTM. I can go. Yeah, then we got the Nissan 400R, which is another fun one for sure. Yeah, Lexus LFA, which is giving chase on me right now. But yeah, overall, just an interesting set of opponents, but no doubt some of these are going to be running out of fuel on the way there, because as the saying goes, this is 9 times fuel burn, so even as stock as they are, they're going to be a bit power hungry. Considering, yeah, that R34, he's definitely going at some point. He doesn't have a whole lot, and we're only just halfway of the track, because as I will say this is a 9-minute race. But I will now mention this though, I have decided to cut the portion of the race to the start and to just the end at the end of it. Because I know it's in the midway, there's not a whole lot going on anymore, so I just decided, I was like, you know what, let's just turn this 30-minute race into technically a 20-minute race, but I cut the portions between the 10-minute to the, was eventually to 30 minutes. So, yeah, this is essentially technically a 30-minute race, but I cut it to 20 minutes for the viewing angle. And also that way, in case I'm not going to leave you guys hanging dry in terms of talking at the end of the day, you know, probably still am. Some occasions and stuff. But yeah, just overall, just the Suzuki Cappuccino with the RX is not a bad motor. Just, yeah, I gotta admit though, putting in the Cup Tryouts probably ain't the best thing in both worlds. It's probably better off to put in sports car speed at least. It's 186 miles per hour. You rather just put it there, or you put it up higher in the GT with 200. Because this is a crazy machine, I'm not gonna lie, especially you turn it into a pocket rocket. Because like I said, this thing can hit like 275 mile-ish. Which, I will say loose on that, that might be less than on that, but I'm pretty sure it can, for the most part. But yeah, there's a jack. Oh, yep, there we go. Oh no, there was a fuel. Yeah, that's bad part. I think I have like 8 contenders that are gonna lose fuel throughout this race. Yeah, the NSX eventually passed the Civic at some point though. Tech well spent, as the saying goes. Then you got the Aston Martin, yeah, every round fuel too. Got the Alpha every round fuel. This is gonna be a round fuel kind of scenario. That's where we got the Sprinter Truno. We got the tuners, Sprinter Truno, matter of fact. But yeah, in terms of modification, I don't think it's a whole lot besides higher RPM and 200 horsepower, if I recall, compared to the 120 or 120 or 160 the Sprinter Truno has, and you know, modified by the Drift Man. Yeah, so just trying to get to the Porsche 911, which 911's about to run out of fuel too. Oh my god. Like I said, this is only a 9 times fuel burn, yet this is too much for these kind of cars. So in case you want to know, don't ever take these cars on Nürburgring on a 9 times fuel burn. I will say, if it was the Nordschleifer, this one might have survived. Might have. But yeah, it's just kind of funny what's about to happen here. And yep, you lost the gas. Uh-oh. What do I happen here? So what do I have fuel? Nice fuel, dork! God damn it. This thing goes. Yep, in like 135 miles per hour right now. 138. Yeah, he's in just 52 now. Yeah, I will say, they can still go. They only hit like 52 though. Now here comes the real part though. It's the Lamborghini Mario. Which he almost reared into the Porsche. Oh my god. Yeah, I do kind of wonder, did they use the cars rear in it? I didn't see anyone in the process of switch though, however, so. It looked like some almost did though, concerning his case. We also got the Nissan 400R, which I'm not surprised. This is another car that'd be pretty crazy. Not too much on the fuel consumption, which does shock me, because this is the bulkiest variants of the R series Nissans too. Yet, it doesn't burn that much. That's actually impressive work they did for 400R, and perfect then in that case. That tells me. Got the Sprinter Truno in like a third left of tank, I'm surprised. Figure he'd be half. You got the ASX, which surprisingly he burned a lot too. He has only like an 8th lap, so yeah, he's definitely out of fuel every lap. Which yeah, this is more a reason why I cut too, by the way. Because yeah, I'm just gonna say this is kind of gonna be a landslide for my case, because how efficient I could technically do with the Cappuccino. Because I will say, I did eventually turn around and lean to 4 on the second lap here. Because yeah, it could technically do 2 laps, but you do have to lean at some point when it comes to the Cappuccino. So I might have somewhat kind of cheated, somewhat not. At the end of the day, I still think I would win no matter what. Yeah, I just see the other ones just trying to get theirs again. Thank God. Would be funnier if they were if they had to just sit there. That would be even more funnier. Remind me of that one game, Legends of 1886 or something like that, or 1887 or something like that. It's like an IndyCar one. I can't remember what's called entirely. It's a very funny one, but if you run out of fuel though, you just sit there. Spirits of 1887 or something like that. I'm sorry, back. You know, it's kind of weird. I figured it's like 19 something for that. I don't know. Just trying to think on that one. You know, Lamborghini Urus. Just driving its way there, as it got to drive the whole straightaway down like that. Yeah, that basically just kind of just wraps this race entire. If anything, I kind of just wondering like who's going to be the second place, who's going to be the third place, as we just skip straight to the third lap and basically at least have one more round out entirely of Nordschleifer at the end of the day. Yeah, I basically just got this in the bag. We got the Sprinter Truno Toyota. Got the Nismo 400R. In a fabulous little machine, trying to pass the Sprinter as we speak. It's kind of funny, that kind of tells you 2 tuners going at it. Got the GR Supra, or Z, that's surprisingly, I'm surprised how efficient that is. Yeah, but then you got the other rival, which is the NSX Type R. Yeah, I do kind of consider the NSX kind of a rival to that. And then you got the Roadster touring car. I figured this would be up much higher, but I guess not. I guess fuel kind of burns too much. I figure it'd be less for that car. Because reminder, it's the Roadster. But yeah, I'll be eventually end up doing that for Cup Race in the future. But yeah, that kind of tells me probably just do the regular one. But I could do the Touring one. Yeah, well, of course, still did the Touring one at the end of the day. I've got the Genesis G70. Just going along after getting fuel. Because yeah, as much as they run out of fuel, surprisingly they still get to the end. Kind of efficient, kind of not. As the other ones are finally getting there. Considering the R34Z2, I cannot believe that. I know that's 500 horsepower, I get that, but the fact that it burns that much, holy crap. And also, it's like light tuned and everything, I thought. Because it was made and bind for, I thought, GT 500 touring car spec style. Because I thought that's how crazy they went. And when I say GT 500, I'm referring to like GT3 levels, not the GT2s. Although, I think the 2005 GT 500s were fine too. They just had a bit of a different body change, such if I recall. And then the 2008 ones happened, then it was great too now. So that's when they decided to go all crazy on that. Yeah, got the GR Supra, the NSX Type R. Going it down. Got the Monster Roadster, and then, yeah, the Civic. The Civic, they kept up with the NSX at all. If anything, it's about to get passed by the Impreza 2004, so if you got a Impreza 2004, you're still good. This thing goes. So yeah, just looking at the 10 back and forth, because those are the ones that kind of matter. At the end of the day. Yeah, NSX at 6 right now. GR Supra at 5th. So the Supra Pass? I think the Supra Pass at some point. But the Sprint Turner hit 4th right now. And then you got the Nismo 400R at 3rd. But yeah, I just just do a Nürburgring 24-hour with this car. It's like, you know, this is kind of the other good one because I did it last time with the Fiat 500. It's like, you know, let's do it with this. And it's just as crazy as I thought. If not even worse, because yeah, reminder that higher horsepower means you're definitely burning more. Unless your name is the Lamborghini Maria or your name is the... God damn it, brain skip me. But you know, the Alpine car. That's the other one I can think of. That's really crazy about fuel consumption. Because I consider that one of the best cars too. Effed up enough because of that fuel consumption rate. Yeah, in terms of rivals, it's basically the Maria P400 Bertone, but I still kind of say good luck at this point. Still moving pretty fast though, in like 160. That car is very incredible. The problem is reliability concerns when it comes to that. Whenever Lamborghini's ever mentioned, reliability is like the biggest problems. That thing does. Besides being owned by Volkswagen at this point. That sucks. But I know, like back then, yesteryear's Lamborghinis though, they had reliability issues, so to say. Like example, catching on fire. Now I will note, I think that's for the Mario. I don't know much about the Countachs though, for that case. But yeah, in terms of what's the best way to say it kind of makes me wonder should I just went with the sports cars instead of the rando cars when it comes to these cupcake cars at the end of the day. Sometimes I'm a bit of a debate about that sometimes, but I think I should just still go with the randos at the end of the day just to show like, you know, how bad can it be for these cars sometimes? And this is how bad, so this is a very funny case. But yeah, I decided to just cut the portion of the races to more and go for like maybe like 20 minutes at best, maybe 15 minutes on our end. That's probably the best less I could probably get. I still want to show the scale of the race at the end of it, but I just want to show a portion. So it's not this is how efficient this car is at the end of it. Because yeah, like I said, you can technically do 2 laps with this. You do have to do a lean of 5 on that second lap. Like you do the first bit or no, I take that back. If you want to do the full scale, I would say lean of 4 or 3. If it hits 50% by the time you hit that lap, then go up to 4 or 5. If it doesn't, if it doesn't pass 50%, then keep it at 3. As it goes. If you want the most efficient lean to it, because otherwise, basically what I did was I did just the one just to see, and it goes down to like 44% just to tell you, and then lean 4 to I think lean 5 because I want to get the most out of the lean at the end of it, which basically at 10% on that straightaway, I just hit back the lean 1 just to go to the pit stops. So that's basically how I went about that. So in case for anyone who wants to understand throughout this race a little bit, that's basically what I did. Yep, so on to victory for the Cappuccino as this thing goes. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm noticing, like, if you take a cup racer to a production car, you're gonna beat it down like no tomorrow. Because it's not just because of the speed difference. Because most like look at the Mario, it's in like 170. It's not speed that matters. It's pace that matters. And if you ain't pulling a fast pace, well, you ain't gonna be that good, there, bud. As thing goes. But yeah, I love it that the GR Super was about to pass the picture there. But yeah, so that basically wraps up for this tryout. I thank you all for watching stuff. So until then, enjoy this little teaser of the next car, which is the Honda SX Grade 4. Until then, folks, you guys take care, and thanks for watching as always.